I had always believed I knew everything about my business. I had built it from the ground up, watched it grow, and prided myself on treating my employees well. But as the years passed, I became more and more disconnected from the people working in my stores. I sat in a big office looking at reports and numbers, but I had no idea what was really happening on the floor. So, I decided to go undercover. Disguised as a new trainee, I walked into one of my stores, a small location in a quiet town. It wasn't one of our busiest spots, but it had always done well. I had spoken to the manager on the phone many times, but I had never set foot in the store myself. As I stepped inside, I took a deep breath, nervous but excited. A young woman at the register greeted me with a warm smile. "Hey there. You must be the new guy. I'm Lisa. Welcome aboard." Lisa was in her early 20s, with kind eyes and a tired smile that told me she had seen her fair share of struggles. She showed me around, explaining the basics of the job, and I followed along, pretending to be clueless. As we worked side by side, I noticed how she treated customers. She was patient, kind, and always made sure everyone left with a smile. It was clear she loved her job, but there was something in her eyes, a kind of weariness that tugged at my heart. During our break, we sat in the small employee lounge, sipping on cheap coffee. "So," I asked, trying to keep my cover, "how do you like working here?" She hesitated for a moment, then let out a soft chuckle. "Honestly, I love it, but it's not easy. The pay barely covers my rent, and I've been picking up extra shifts just to make ends meet." She glanced at her phone, a worried look crossing her face. "My mom's sick, and I help take care of her. Some days I wonder how much longer I can keep this up." Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. I had no idea that one of my employees was struggling like this. I had always thought we paid fairly, but hearing Lisa's reality made me question everything. A few minutes later, a customer walked in, and Lisa rushed back to the register. I stood in the background, watching her work, my mind spinning. Then I heard something that stopped me in my tracks. A regular customer, an older man, was short on cash. He looked embarrassed as he fumbled through his wallet. Without hesitation, Lisa reached into her own pocket, pulled out a few dollars, and handed it to him. "Don't worry about it, Mr. Thompson. You can pay me back whenever," she said with a smile. I felt a lump in my throat. Here was an employee who was struggling herself, yet she still found it in her heart to help someone else. She wasn't just a good worker, she was an incredible human being. That night, I went home feeling shaken. I couldn't stop thinking about Lisa, about how unfair it was that someone so kind and hardworking had to struggle just to survive. The next day, I revealed my true identity to her. The shock on her face was priceless, but when I told her why I had come, her eyes welled up with tears. I gave Lisa a promotion, a raise, and offered to cover her mother's medical bills. But it wasn't just about her. It was about all my employees. I knew I had to do better, to be more present, to truly understand the people who kept my business running. Lisa changed the way I saw my company. She reminded me that behind every number, every report, there are real people with real struggles. And from that day on, I made a promise to never lose sight of that again. In the weeks that followed, I implemented changes across all my stores. Wages were increased, benefits improved, and I made it a priority to visit my locations more often. I wanted to hear my employees' voices, to know their concerns, and to support them in any way I could. Lisa's story wasn't unique. There were so many others just like her, doing their best to get by. And it was my responsibility to make sure they didn't have to struggle alone. Business wasn't just about profits and expansion. It was about people. Without them, there would be no company at all. That experience changed my life forever. It reminded me of the values I had when I first started out, of the kind of leader I wanted to be. And most importantly, it made me see that real success isn't just measured in numbers. It's measured in the lives we touch and the differences we make. Lisa taught me that, and I will never forget it. As time went on, I made it my mission to create an open-door policy where employees could voice their concerns without fear of repercussions. I set up scholarship funds for employees who wanted to pursue higher education and emergency relief programs for those facing unexpected hardships. I even started a mentorship program where senior employees could guide and support new hires, helping them navigate the challenges of both work and life. One day, months after my undercover experience, Lisa came to see me in my office. She looked healthier, more confident, and there was a new brightness in her eyes. "I just wanted to say thank you," she said. "Not just for me, but for everyone. You changed our lives." I smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "No, Lisa. You changed mine." And from that moment on, I knew that being a boss wasn't just about making decisions from behind a desk. It was about being present, listening, and making sure that every single person who worked for me felt valued. Because at the end of the day, a business isn't just about numbers, it's about people. And when you take care of your people, they take care of the business.